Oh no, it's Sub-Zero.
Fight! Fatality.
Hello, hi, how are you? That's right, I was in Mortal Kombat. The Mortal Kombat. It was pretty great, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm, as you can guess, an absolute superstar now. So, you know, life's been pretty cool. You know, all these big movie deals and people trying to sign me to fly to LA. I ain't got time for everyone, you know. That's why I'm here with you guys, making a YouTube video in my room. I should call it a studio. Yeah, it's much more professional, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, so today I'm going to speak to you about being on the set of Mortal Kombat for a little bit. It was a couple years ago now, and I figured since the movie's out, and you know, I can start to talk about it a little bit, I suppose. Yeah, I figured I'd make a little fun video and just kind of go through what it included, what was some of the stuff that I saw. Yeah, and hopefully, like, I'm allowed to say most of this stuff now. I think I am. I think it's fine. If not, you'll never hear from me again. But anyway, that's probably not gonna happen, right? You know, we're cool. We're cool. Yeah. So, firstly, if you haven't seen the film, the latest film, Mortal Kombat, go and see it before you watch this, because it'll just help. There's not gonna be any spoilers or anything like that. I wasn't there that much, okay? But if you haven't seen it, go and see it first if you can, and come back to me when you're done. That could be a bit of a process. Like, it might take you a couple days to go and see it at the cinema, but maybe go and watch it first, or if you don't care, just keep watching my video. I always appreciate that. So, yeah, so in Mortal Kombat, right? Okay, so this was about, I think this was mid-2019, right? So before everything happened last year, and is still happening now, to some extent. I had just recently signed up as an extra with an agency. I was just starting to get into all my acting stuff and really wanted to pursue that. And I thought a good start would be just sign up as an extra and just kind of see what happens, you know? Wasn't expecting much or anything like that, but then Mortal Kombat came here. And I was lucky enough to get selected to be a part of a scene. And now there was a lot of people in that scene, granted, but still very cool. So the way it worked was, it was 2 days of filming, 2 full days of filming. I won't tell you where, but it's about an hour or so drive from where I live. And we had to be there at, I think we had a call time of 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. So you have to be not on set, but in the general, you know, filming space area, holding area, whatever you want to call it, by 7 o'clock, and sign yourself in and everything. So on the first day, you show up, they're really, really early, so I'm up at like 5:30, and I'm not a morning person, so like this is tough, you know, tough stuff. Drive all the way out, and we rock up, and there's a lot of cars. You know, it's kind of like when you go to a sporting event and they direct your car to, you know, its own section. Like there's a guy who's going like, you know, all these little hand gestures, this way, and then a guy points you in. Yeah, that sort of thing, right? So we had that, lots of cars, lots of people. Go into this tent, and you have to go and sign your name in. And when you sign your name in, you got a I think you got a letter, and that letter was your group. Now I was group C, and someone who might even be watching this video right now will never let me live it down, but she was an A. So us C's had to stick together because we were like this is the totem pole, right? This is the totem pole. Actually no, like A's maybe like here. Then there was like featured or something. And then, you know, people who are actually in the movie, like talking and stuff, they're like up here. And you can't even see that. That's how high they are. C though, C's like down here. But C's still very cool, and us C's, we stick together. So, I was Group C. We go and we find our spot. There's maybe, I'm terrible with judging numbers, maybe 300 people? 300 extras, maybe? I really don't know. It's quite a few though. And speaking to some of the other people there, we didn't really know what was going on. We were told who was in our scene and who was, we got a few names in our email of other extras that would be there, but only maybe 20 or 30, not hundreds, right? So we maybe thought that we were going to see some different scenes and things, but no, we were all there to film the one scene. And this scene, if you watch the movie, remember, spoilers, there's not spoilers, it's a very early scene in the movie, but go and watch the movie first. We were all there for this one scene, and it was a fight scene, an MMA fight. I don't know why I did air quotes. It was just an MMA fight. Think kind of underground UFC type stuff, with some crowd watching, and more like amateur level UFC, MMA, yeah, fighting. Quite cool. In a warehouse, there was a balcony tier, a lower tier, and on the lower tier was the cage. There was some judges, referee, that sort of stuff. Went into this warehouse before we saw the set. We just went into this warehouse and everyone had to sit in this warehouse until your letter was called. And so, Group C, we were told to be on the top level. We're on the balcony, right? And you walk on set and it's pretty cool. It's, you know, they've got fake sun coming through the windows. It was really cold as well these 2 days, because it was like the end of winter, I think, or middle of winter. I don't remember the exact time. Okay, cut me some slack here, guys. But it was the middle of winter, and maybe I'll if I have some photos of this scene and the set, I'll put it up so you can see. So we walk up and a guy is kind of directing us to where we're standing, right? Actually no, before we get there, there's a little prop table and they would just pick random people out to get some props. I got selected to have a drink, a beer. I know, I totally look like the beer drinking age, right? I mean, I am. I'm the appropriate age to drink alcoholic beverages in any country, I'm pretty sure. So, even at the time of this, don't worry, it's like it's all good. But I got a drink, right? And you have to hold that drink in the same hand, largely. Because, like, what if 1 second you're on screen and it's here and then the next second it's there? Yes, you could just change hands, but, like, it kind of looks funny, you know? I don't actually remember if I was told to do that, but I did it anyway. I don't remember which hand I had the drink in. I think it was my left. But honestly, it could have been my right. It was one or the other. Anyway, maybe have a look in the movie. You might be able to see it. So, I've got this drink. We're going up, and the guy's directing us to our spots. And I got a prime spot. So there was this balcony around the top. These sort of bars that would hold you off. And I was stationed right up the front. So I could see everything. And I'm not overly tall. I'm like average height. So like if I had been further back, I wouldn't have been able to see anything. Right? Like anything at all. But luckily for me, I was right at the front. So I got to see a lot of what they filmed. Now, it was a fight scene. So, to start with, there were like placeholder guys. They're called stand-ins. And they are people who often look similar to the actor that's going to be in the scene. Or they're a similar height or things like that. And they just stand there for the camera to kind of aim at so they can get the shot right and all set up. You know, lots of very technical movie, film set stuff, right? Stuff that we don't need to worry about unless you're actually making the film. So they did that for a long time. And that's the thing you come to learn on film sets, is that not a lot happens, or it seems like not a lot is happening for a long time. It just takes a long time for stuff to get done. But eventually, these stand-ins kind of start to fight. They're doing a bit of a routine, you know, back and forth. There's some kicking and some punching and blah. It's all very cool, right? Going through, and then out comes the guys who are obviously the actors in the scene. In great shape, you know, shredded, you know, ready to go, ready to go. They come out, and we go to start the scene. And essentially what we do, now I was a crowd member along with all these other extras. So we were told that this guy is our hero, this guy is not our hero, I don't remember who he was. But our hero loses this fight, but we need to cheer him on. And we've all bet on this guy to win, right? So we need to just lose our minds, scream, cheer, support for our hero. So basically it was 2 days of yelling and cheering and booing and all sorts of things. Safe to say I lost my voice pretty hardcore, like big time. Lost my voice, absolutely. Now, there were some fun little moments. If you've seen the film, a lot of it got cut down. So it kind of turned into just a bit of a montage of the fight. The guy looks like he might win for a second, then it looks like he's going to lose for a second. And then he hears like the voice of his daughter, like, hey, do this, there's a round end, you know. They come back and they're fighting again. And ultimately, our hero, who is named Cole, in this case, if you've seen the movie, he's played by Louis Tan, the main guy. Cole loses. What a sucker, right? We all bet on this one guy, and he can't even win us the fucking fight. Like, I put almost my life savings on this guy to win, and he didn't. And what am I supposed to just do, you know, go home with nothing? No. Okay? So, we were all pretty pissed at Cole, who lost. So, we all threw our shit into the ring. So, but when the scene was being filmed, there were 2 rounds. So they would fight for a little bit in their routine, punch, kick, hit, submit, and then a bell rang. Some coaches came in. Cole's coach was his daughter. Came in, there was some dialogue there. Not much, but a little bit. Coaches left, and they go to fight again. And there was one thing that got cut. The daughter of Cole on the sideline said, as they were coming out for the next round, she calls out to her dad to like cheer him on. And she goes, it's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And Cole comes out and he's like, and I'm all out of gum. And he's like, ready to, you know, belt the dude. It was a bit cringe, I'll be honest, it was a bit cringe. And then every time they filmed that bit from then on, they didn't have that line in. So maybe they decided that it was really poor there. Or maybe they were just like, okay, we got that one, we can do the next. I really don't know. Ultimately, it wasn't in the film. So, there you go. Read into that as you will. And this went for 2 full days. Filming about 2 minutes worth, 3 minutes worth of this movie. 2 full days of 12, 14 hours. I think both days ran overtime. It was really nuts. But super, super fun and exciting. I got terribly sick as well. I caught the flu from someone nearby standing around me, and I was sick for a good couple of weeks, which sucked. But I would totally do it again. I would totally do it again. Even though I lost my voice, even though my hand was permanently clawed in the shape of a beer, it was great, and I'll do it again. Now, in the film, I watched the film the other day. Okay, before I made this, obviously. And if I've got a good little snap that I took of the screen, I will put it up. But I actually made it on camera. So even though the scene was cut down, I still made it on. There I'm screaming my little heart out. you know, go Coles, whatever I was saying. And there I am, like front and center. Only for a split second, not for very long at all, but I'm right in the middle because, you know, prime spot right at the front. And I could remember the people that were standing next to me and around me. Oh, it just brought back a lot of memories. But it's very cool. It was very cool. So, technically, I am a canon character or member of the Mortal Kombat universe. That's right. You didn't hear me wrong. That's right. I am a canon person involved in the Mortal Kombat universe. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Okay, so lots more videos to come. I am also going to get back into my streaming, of course. So follow all the links below. LiamLive23 on Twitch, Liam_Hennessy23 on Instagram. Follow all that stuff. We're gonna be chilling as fellow humans on Earth. Yeah, so go and follow me there for all these updates and things, because where else are you gonna find me? Nowhere. Okay, so you better go and do it. Bye bye. Oh no, Sub-Zero has returned.